Access Paranormal. My name is Jamie Williams. Joining me as usual is my co-host Jonathan Sullivan.
Yeah, hello, Jamie.
And nobody this week, Jonathan?
No.
No, so it's just us two.
Yeah.
But also we've got Adam, Mark,
I know.
and Matt. And Matt, where are you from?
Dad City Airbags from North Wales.
Fantastic. And you're both urban explorers and paranormal investigators.
Fresh paranormal experts.
Fresh
Paranormal investigators.
paranormal.
You've
No, I've been doing it for about 6 months now, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, proper going into it, yeah.
Yeah, because you started off, didn't you, Adam, as just an urban explorer,
Yeah,
same as yourself, Matt.
Yeah.
And then I was watching on one programme, you started doing little paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
I think the one I saw you were upstairs in it was like the biggest building.
Right.
And this is the weird part, I remember the floor being blue, like a blue carpet on the floor.
Right.
And you were in that room, and then something happened. I can't remember exactly what happened. And that's when you started calling out a little bit on your own.
Yeah.
I know it sounds. I'm one for picking up on silly things like that. And I pick up on stuff like that. And then you started calling out, and something happened, and I think you carried on. You went back down the stairs and out the way.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it started, just little things like that. And then just getting more and more into it, yeah, definitely.
And you know when you start going into these buildings on your own, I mean, you go on your own. You used to before Matt joined you. You used to go on, insane. And what made you go into these buildings on your own? Have you got no fear?
Well, pretty much I started, Denby Mental Hospital. Started going there when I was about 12 or 13. So it was like going with my mates, and then it just didn't really bother me at all, really. You know?
He'd like with you, wouldn't he? Because he's got no fear of anything like that as well. And you met up with Matt?
Yeah.
When did you get together to do your exploring?
About over a year now.
Yeah, something like that.
It must be over a year.
While we're doing this podcast, we've got the dog here as well, which is chewing the chair at the table there. It's metal, so it should be okay. And you've been all over the place. You are from North Wales, as you were telling us, and you're from North Wales as well. And you've been all over the place. And some of the buildings you've been to are phenomenal. And which buildings one of you where you want to go back to again?
I'd love to. There was one in Italy, big mansion. That was my absolute favourite, yeah. And that had some paranormal stuff. I actually only went to Italy to do urban exploring, but that was one of the first places I went to, and just walking around and then doors banging, footsteps. I didn't have any paranormal equipment then either. I think I just had a few little bits. And that was terrifying, to be fair, yeah, huge.
I've seen some over there,
It was, I was on my own there as well. Genuinely, like, it's terrifying.
Scary.
Yeah.
If you hear noises in the background, we do know the dog's here, don't we? He's like, he's up to one, he's only got 15 weeks old, so he's a little terror. What place did you start it together? Did you meet up in a location, or did you just decide to get together somewhere?
We just got together, didn't we? You picked me up one day, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then we went to.
Where's the first one?
I was calling you out there.
Doesn't mean you do that many. They just like you saying the blue carpet. I have no idea which one.
As soon as I see the video, I'm no good at locations. Like I watch your videos. I'm no good at locations, but because we're into paranormal investigation and things like that, I do pick things up in the building. This is going to be one of the funniest podcasts we've ever done in there. So I don't know where Ian's disappeared to, but the dog's staying. Just leave it to it. Where was the first location you ever went to? Was it the asylum?
Denby, yeah, that's the first one. Yeah. But it was just more of an outing with my mates, to be honest. Yeah. And then that's where I proper fell in love with it, like the exploring side.
Yeah.
But paranormal side, that was obviously a few years later when I was doing the pool park roughing one I was saying.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
We're having some fun here, aren't we? We started this podcast. We've got 2 urban explorers and a little naughty dog.
I was going to ask you about was it an Airbnb in York?
Yeah.
A little,
Yeah.
really.
Chamber room.
Yes.
That's it.
That looked spooky.
Yeah. I actually found that online, just randomly searching haunted places, and then I was thinking I wanted to go up to York because obviously there's a lot of history in York, isn't there?
Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah. So I just literally put most haunted place in York, and that came up, and I was like, I've got to go there. Amazing place that
That was
was.
amazing.
All the old taxidermy,
Yeah.
and they have their own Ouija board there, and loved it.
I've been to York loads of times. I love York.
Yeah.
Did you see Dick Turpin's grave?
No.
No. I missed Dick Turpin's grave.
I don't know who Dick Turpin is.
You don't know Dick You don't know who Dick Turpin is?
I've heard of him. Was he?
Jonathan knows he was around at that time. He was a highwayman back in the 1700s, 1600s, something like that.
Yeah.
And he used to obviously rob people, didn't he? And he got caught. And he was hung and everything else.
Yeah.
And he ends up burying him. It's just his grave on its own.
Yeah.
Look at
Trash in the place.
this. This has got to be the greatest podcast we've ever done, Jonathan, isn't it? Eh? Do you want to take him in the main hall, Ian?
Like a fried chicken running around.
This will be a podcast you'll have to put a link to. And it's not Marcus. Oh, here we go. Behind the scenes of a podcast with the dog. So what made you? I know we're in Mill Street Parks at the moment. What made? How did you find Mill Street Parks? I know there's a lot of people been in here and everything else.
Yeah. Literally just I went through a phase where I just wanted to find the most haunted places and do like kind of a series of. This is when I was doing urban exploring. I wanted to just do a series of just exploring haunted places. So I just went through, found loads of places. This was one of them, and then I read the stories about it, and I was like, I've definitely got to come here.
Yeah.
But then obviously through the I picked up a load of paranormal equipment, and I've been practicing my paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a good time. Definitely.
Have you ever seen this happen before?
No.
It's on tonight. It's been great. The whole night you've been here, Adam, it's been fantastic. It's been as good as gold, hasn't she? All the sun. Keep talking, I'm going to grab it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I mean, there's been a few times where you've been on your own mat.
Yeah.
Not just camping your mat, but some of them places that I would not go on my own. I've seen you go to it's one of your latest videos, and you're in this house, quite a few rooms, and you kept hearing noises at the end.
Is that one of the recent ones? Was
Yes.
it this week's one?
I think it was.
Yeah.
This week's or last
Like a
week's one.
Victorian house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, quite a big house though.
Yeah, I heard a few footsteps.
Yeah.
A few knocks and bangs in there.
And you had some of the equipment out upstairs.
Yeah.
Your grandpa was going off quite a few times.
Yeah.
I think your music box went.
It went off. I put it into a certain room, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I aimed it into the corner of the room.
Yeah.
And obviously, if something breaks the infrared beam on it, it will
That's
set
it.
the music button, and it did into an empty room. Basically.
Yeah, but on your own.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think it's more just that's why I'm there now, isn't it? So why would I run away?
Yeah. You must still get scared though.
Yeah, it does freak you out. It does give you the creeps, but I kind of enjoy that side of it as well.
It gives you a bit of an
Yeah, adrenaline rush. Yeah, definitely.
It does.
I've returned. The dog is under control.
Okay, killed it.
That was a good one. I was in interested in the noises at the end that you kept hearing. And
Yeah.
there was like footsteps as well.
Yeah, I think I was in one of the rooms looking into a chest and I heard, was it running or walking behind me? I'd
Yeah, it was
stand
like
round.
walking, yeah, it was in one of the bedrooms,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
And they were quite clear as well because I picked them up on my audio as well.
Yeah, that's
Which
right,
sometimes you obviously know you don't always get it, do you?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
But to get it on the audio as well was,
Better,
yeah, it was brilliant. That.
Is that your most recent one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't watched that because you were telling me about that.
Yeah,
So I've got to
yeah,
watch
it's
Yeah.
really good.
that.
Yeah, it's
So
really
that-
interesting.
I'm looking forward to that because he was saying you actually captured the footsteps.
Yeah.
How did you feel though when you caught them?
In my head, I really just try and ignore it. That's because otherwise, you just like right, okay, and then just carry on like it didn't happen. Because then otherwise, you're just gonna freak yourself out, aren't you? Really?
Doesn't say goes much for that, does it? Really wrong. And have you had the same stuff, Matt?
I have, yeah, not on my own, because I don't drive, so I can't get to locations on my own.
Right.
But yeah, I've definitely heard some stuff.
Does it freak you out though?
It does, but it's more because they're quite old buildings,
Yeah.
so you have to kind of like think it could be
Yeah.
floorboards,
Yeah, it could
Yeah,
be.
it
Yeah.
could be. So yeah, I try not to let it freak me out as much.
Mm.
You've got to debunk it as you go, and have it.
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, we
definitely
find
do
that
all the
Yeah.
time.
important to do that because otherwise everything's paranormal.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
But footsteps.
Yeah, they were
You know.
quite.
You can't.
Especially when I was editing, turn it up full blast, and you can just hear it. Like they are clear,
Yeah.
definitely.
And how did you feel once you listened to it?
I was like, I was hoping I'd get it on the audio, but it's kind of like a good thing, isn't it, when you catch it?
It is.
You know, it's like, oh,
It's
I
what you're
hope I
there
want
for.
people
Yeah.
to hear this.
It's
Like
what we
a
do.
buzz, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah. And did you believe, both of you, I'll ask both of you the question, did you believe in the paranormal before you started urban exploring and that? Or had you got more convinced as you were doing the investigation, as you were doing your exploring,
Yeah.
sorry?
I think I was more curious of it, but I'm like a big horror fan and stuff, so I love all that stuff. But then looking into it more, there's stuff that, like you said, you try and debunk things and you just can't with some stuff.
No.
And it's like, there's no other explanation to some of the things you hear.
That's right.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in a really old building and some of
Yeah.
the buildings you've been in.
Yeah. Hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
Thousands, actually, some of them.
Do you find it, sorry Jonathan, I was going to say, do you find it that when you go in these buildings and you do go in some buildings and the furniture's still there, there's toys still there?
Yeah.
I think you went in one, there was books everywhere, children's books everywhere. That must
Yeah.
have been kind of creepy to see that.
It
Does
is.
that like make you feel uncomfortable, or do you just go past that and think,
I
"Oh,
think
it's history"?
when I first started finding places like that, it was this is a bit personal.
Yeah.
But then when you start seeing it more, it's like nobody actually, like, these are just left now. And if
No.
you don't go and look at it, they're just literally gonna fall apart in the house.
That's the
So it's-
it
yeah.
should be a
Bit of sad,
museum.
isn't it?
Yeah. Some of the stuff are like you don't see them in this day and age.
No.
So to see them, to be able to see them, it's just I don't know. I find it so fascinating.
What I like about you as well is you look at the stuff and then you just put it back the way it was.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just left, you know. Where we've seen some explorers, we watched them and we thought, hold on, they went in there,
Yeah.
that's gone.
Yeah.
You know, when you've gone back with the camera, you think, that thing's gone, really, what was there before?
Yeah. Didn't
And
notice
that's sad because,
Yeah.
you know, they're not leaving things for the likes of yourselves to go and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And for us to enjoy it through your
Yeah.
video footage, which is brilliant.
That's a big appeal to not touching stuff, leaving it for the next person who goes in,
Yeah.
and they can experience it the same
Yeah.
way.
That's it, isn't it? That's it.
But some people don't care.
Do you find it fascinating when you find, because I think you found a newspaper which went back, I think it was like the 1930s or something like that.
Yeah.
And like you're thinking, how's it been kept in that condition? I think you found a load of magazines in a cupboard.
Yeah. I think that was in Scotland. Football magazines.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were literally mint condition as well, because they've obviously been in a drawer. You open the drawer up and they're just mint condition.
And you think, no.
19, I think it was 30s or 40s,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Football
Yeah.
magazines.
And I'm a big football fan, you know, and I was
Yeah.
thinking, wow, I'd love to have a
You do see the odd program and stuff like that. They're obviously valuable now as well. So
Oh, and it's sad
shame.
because, I mean, the great thing with YouTube is you're honest, you just leave everything.
yeah,
Sad thing is somebody else will come on with something.
That's it.
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
straight on eBay.
I see that.
Seen it happen.
I see a lot of the explos though, and you see some when they go in, and it's absolutely ransacked, and you can tell people have been in,
Yeah.
and just absolutely destroyed it, got all the valuable stuff,
Yeah.
and then just leave the rest.
Yeah.
But they're destroying everything, though, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
At the end of the day, it's still someone's house.
It is.
Even if
It's
they're-
still
if
someone's
they're
selling
alive
it
or-
somewhere.
Yeah.
And you still, and you're really just guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're just having a look around.
Yeah.
You're just having a little bit of a look around.
Yeah.
I love it because it's history.
Yeah.
You know, the chances of us going to the Scotland one where you were, there's basically no chance of us getting in there. And you find that when like other urban explorers go more and more, they tend to lock these places up. They tend to be more, people can't get in them again because
Yeah.
they realise the urban explorers are going in, shut them down.
But like you said, I sometimes go on my own. I go with Matt, one or two of us or something like that.
Yeah.
Never a group in that. I think you kind of go under the radar then. And we tend to go a lot in the daytime. So when I think people go in night and there's 6 or 7
With torches.
torches going
So
everywhere.
you can see the torches.
Farmers and that, they
Yeah.
go, what's up,
Yeah.
what's going on there?
Because you go early morning, don't you?
A lot of the time,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a feeling you're saying that it's early morning now.
Yeah.
Gone through. I think you went through to one. Did you do Frodsham? A building in Frodsham, a huge house in Frodsham. And I think you were in there and the security came along and you had to come out. Was it you or have I been watching somebody else?
I think, I can't remember one in Frodsham, that's by Chester, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a big, massive house.
Oh, I know what that's.
Do you know which one it was?
Yeah, I think that's someone else.
Was it
Oh, yeah,
someone else?
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of people doing it.
Yeah.
That's a well-known one, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was burnt down.
Yeah.
A footballer's
Burnt
one?
down.
No, that was
it was like a
in.
hotel.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking
It was
about.
like
That's
a
gone.
hotel.
Tilston.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it,
Shouldn't have named that one. no,
That's
yeah.
gone now, isn't it?
No, it's still there.
Is
Yeah,
it?
it's still there, yeah.
Which one was that?
Half it was burnt down.
Was it Wild Boar Hotel? Was that somewhere else?
No, that's by there. Tilston House.
Tilson. Oh, Tilson
Big-
House.
it's like a
yeah,
big
yeah,
wedding
yeah.
venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's still there.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Yeah, we went in there, and then as we came out, because the gates are all chained up and overgrown, and we came out, and there was a car parked outside the thing, and we were like, how's that car even got in here? Didn't hear it, didn't see it coming in, didn't see who got out the car. Like, so we just left it. And we only seen it on the way out, but strange one. That.
When you get caught, and obviously people do nappy sometimes.
Yeah.
What's the procedure then? Do you just stay calm, or do you get them ranting at you and things like that?
You do get them ranting, but 9 times out of 10, if you just sound with them, they'll just calm down. They're just shocked that you're on their property, which it's a grey area anyway. So there's no point us kicking off, is there? What we should have been there really. So
Yeah, that's it. It is what it is, isn't it?
yeah,
It's weird, isn't it? Because you see the urban explorers, and you know, technically you're not breaking in.
Yeah.
Because there's an open window or an open door,
Yeah.
and that's the way the grey area is, isn't it? That you
Yeah.
say you shouldn't have been there in the first place. Well,
yeah. We should board you.
Yeah,
Look after your house
yeah.
then.
Secure your property.
I know, yeah, it's frustrating that because we went into one not long ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
There's no window on it. The floors are falling apart. It's quite dangerous, to be honest.
Mm.
But it was literally just a walk-in.
Yeah.
Just straight through a window, no window frame in it or anything. They've seen it up on YouTube, and then you get emails. Take this down. This is like, well, you obviously don't care about it.
Mm.
So what's the big?
Security,
Why are you
yeah.
bothered now? Somebody else cares about it.
Have you had to take it down as well?
I have done in the past.
Yeah.
It's not technically abandoned, then, is it? So.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a shame, really, because all
Yeah.
you do is showing it.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And it was an amazing place as well.
Yeah,
It was a shame I had to take it
Yeah.
well.
There's one in near Cleethorpes, isn't there? And we thought it was a school. I was on holiday with my partner Marie. We went.
Oh, yeah.
There was this abandoned building. It's like in the middle of a field. The caravan site was here, and there was things like Maplethorpe.
Hmm.
So we went in. Anyone could walk in. We went in. I filmed it all and everything else. We just done what you do. Not as good as you because we didn't know what we were doing, but we went in. And anyway, we went off and spoke to this fella, and this fella was saying, oh yeah, it was a dance hall, it was a town hall and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, I went back in on my own to carry on taking photographs and that, and I heard movement in there, and I was, it's all right, Mary, I'm over here. She was still outside, but I could actually hear them walking, same as you could hear them walk and everything else. And then when I went outside, I said, why didn't you just shower when you come in? She said, I haven't been in there, Jamie, you were on your own. Oh, there again. But we found out it was Humberside Radio. You know, the shipping forecast, you know, the shipping radio.
Yeah.
Right.
And the buildings there. I thought it was a school, then we thought it was like a police place. There was nothing to say what it was, but there were still bits and pieces on the walls and things like that. But we found out by research that it was Humberside Shipping Radio. It was a radio station, and they've left it abandoned because the caravan site has bought the land.
Right.
So it's going to get demolished, and it's going to be caravans on there. But if you get the chance to go up there before it goes, it's quite a nice building to go into and wander around.
Yeah.
And when you go into the back of it, you can see the outside where the other rooms used to be as well. The concrete's still there. You can work out where the toilet was. You can work into. It's great. Yeah. So I can see where you two get the fascination from. I mean, I'm the paranormal investigator. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We're not into we like doing a little bit of an urban exploring, but nothing we use to.
No.
Not a million years going to do what you are doing. Not on my own anyway. So, is there any locations that you'd like to go to that you've never been to, where you think that's on my bucket list before it disappears?
More countries, really.
Countries, yeah.
Yeah, because so far I've only explored Europe, so France, Italy, obviously Britain, Eastern Europe, so Ukraine, Czech Republic. So I want to go and see Asian cultures, South America. I'd love to do stuff like that.
Yeah, cool.
And just see what it was like back in the day then.
Yeah.
You know, like I've seen some amazing places in Japan and that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that would be an interesting one.
Yeah.
So you've been abroad a lot then to do all this. Is that through the urban exploring that you've got to go out to these countries?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the same with you, Matt?
I've actually never left Britain,
You've never
but
left it.
it's something that I want to do. Yeah.
Well, you know what you do? Can you take that dog with you? So how long have you been doing the
Coming up to 3 years now, but I've only recently started posting onto YouTube, just because I'm going with Adam and he's going to help me a bit with it. But yeah, I've been doing it about 3 years, but only in Britain.
Yeah.
But there's so many places there.
Is it?
There's so much to look at.
When I watch these urban explorers stage yourself, it's fascinating how many abandoned buildings there are across the country.
Yeah.
You don't realise how many there is.
No, I didn't realise. You want to see my map? It's just pins. You can't really see any countryside anymore.
Is that how you've been to?
Yeah.
Off your head, how many do you reckon you've been seeing?
Just, I reckon 300 or 400.
Wow.
Not all of them are worth filming. Like some
Yeah,
are just
but-
absolute ruins.
Yeah.
Some you can't get into. You know,
No,
the lost, the sealed. Yeah.
Piece of your archive, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the good thing about it.
So one day someone might be able to get in there. Like usually you're relying on kids smashing a window or something. To be honest. So,
Yeah, but I suppose with them buildings you're relying on like some vandals or children
yeah.
go just
Or
so they can
just
open it up.
rotting away
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's sad to say, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your way in then, isn't
Have
it?
you, have you ever come across other urban explorers when you go to these buildings? Is it like you're going out, the other one's coming in like that? Oh God.
Not too much, no. I remember one, you know, ABC Cinema in Liverpool.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
was in there on my own. That was like 2 years ago, and obviously it's a big dark building. And then I just heard walking. I was on my own, so I was like, "Is it police or a baghead or you know, is someone going to stab me or something?" But it was two young lads, and we ended up spending the whole day going around places in Liverpool, so that was alright.
Okay.
But it's scary though, because it could have been anyone.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously you can get the ones who are homeless, sadly enough,
Yeah.
who are also staying in these buildings.
I have come across that as well in Liverpool. We've seen a blind church, I think, in Toxteth.
Oh right, yeah.
And we went in there,
Yeah.
had a look around, absolutely amazing inside, like architecture and stuff. And then you go into a back room, it's all flooded, and they've set some planks out where they're walking along, and we look through the window, and there's literally a family in there, a mother and father, and like 2 little kids, like 3 or 4 years old. It's so like,
It's wrong, isn't it?
yeah, that's where they live. Like,
And did you speak to them or?
no,
Just-
it didn't disturb them. Like,
Yeah.
obviously they're tucked away in there, aren't they? So.
And you both say that you've travelled miles and gone to these locations, and when you get there, you can't get in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Annoying.
Like,
So many of them.
the worst ever.
Yeah.
But even we've been to like hundreds of places and got there no entry and walked away from them. So
I suppose that's part and parcel.
yeah,
And then see him on Facebook a month later.
yeah, someone's
So
broken.
You're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, I know you can't get in there.
Oh, that'd be so frustrating.
Yeah.
And when you go into these locations, is there any way you'd say, I'd love to come back and do this more? I didn't film all what I wanted to film. Part 1, part 2, like that.
I haven't done that yet. There's some I've explored, and then I want to go back and do a paranormal because there's definitely something feeling it in there.
Give us a shout.
Yeah, I have done that 1 or 2 times, but I just look back and go, well, would I go back there, paranormal and stuff? But some you obviously can't because it's gone too far gone now. It's not safe.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
And do you get locations where you get the owner saying you can go in if you want?
No, I've
You've
never.
had that? No,
no.
I've never had them contact you. Say, do you want to come and do
No,
one?
but if anyone wants to do that,
You have to get
if anyone wants to give us
There's one, we've talked about Anglesey a few times
Yeah.
now. As you go past Bew Moss, I don't know whether you've seen it on the left hand side, there's a house, and it's got 2 big huge eagles on the gates. And as you go past it, it's got a big fountain in the garden. But when you go past, there's a field, the sheep in the field, and when you look, massive buildings.
They look like big hangars.
That's the ones, yeah.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
that one.
I think it was something to do with what they call them planes that go on water.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Is that
Because
what they
you
were?
can see the slipways going down into the
Yeah.
sea there, into
Well,
the
that's really right,
straits.
yeah, that's right. When we used to take his boathouse on that
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and they put gates on it.
Yeah, I think it was something to do with them hangars they used to build like aircraft.
Is it biplanes? You've got biplanes.
Not
Is that
sure.
what they were?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
Every time we go past them, I think, I'd love to go and have a rummage around there and have a good nose.
We tried to go into one of the hangars, and obviously, like whoever works there flew up there and chucked us out. But he said that there was like wartime, I think milk floats and stuff like that in there, like
Oh, right.
wartime vehicles in there.
Oh,
We
so
never
he
got
was
to
okay
have a
with
look
you?
though. Yeah, he was alright. Like,
Yeah. Just wanted to get you off.
yeah.
It's a bit like you're staying on
No,
That's a
it is.
shame.
It is. A couple of pictures and that wouldn't have been
That's
alright.
it.
That's all he wants, isn't it? You're not going to do
Yeah.
harm,
Yeah.
is it? And you were saying then, I think we were just saying about on Anglesey, there's loads of different places you can go to. It's a small island, but there's a lot of stuff in there. There's the brickworks, we've done the brickworks on the
What's it
Far
called? Porthwan?
Portland.
that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just up past the.
Yeah, I had a look at that. That's quite interesting place. Those little huts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone know what they are?
No.
No.
But there's if you go to Rosniger, it's just think it's Rosniger. On your way to Rosniger, there's a hill there as well. It's a big hill. Cable Bay. On your way to Rosniger, there's a place called Cable Bay, and on the hill there, there's a burial chamber there as well.
Is there one there?
Right at the very top. Yeah, you can't miss it.
You go in it?
I'm not sure whether they open it at the daytime.
Oh, like a tour, yeah.
Or they put gates on it at the night
Yeah.
time because obviously people are camping there and everything.
I think I know what you mean. You know, is there like sand dunes near it?
Yeah,
It's quite close to the beach, there, isn't it?
that's right, yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
Well, they were there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Then there's I'm trying to think of a few for you on there because I know Anglesey quite well. Obviously there's the lighthouse, isn't it? South Stack Lighthouse.
Yeah.
That's a good one there. Well, I remember South Stack Lighthouse when it had the swing bridge. Now it's a solid bridge now. when we used to go across, it used to be ropes, and it used to swing in the wind like that. And I don't know whether you've ever been to when you look down, it's quite steep.
Yeah,
as you're looking down.
It's right.
Used to get on it. When the wind was blowing like that, you used to have to cross on hanging onto the swing bridge. We were kids. We were mad. We did it.
Fearless when you're young, aren't you?
That's the thing, isn't
As
it?
as you grow up,
Yeah.
you tend to rein yourself back
Yeah.
in.
Start seeing things.
You come to your senses in some ways.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you feel it in some things, but and then when you look back, you think, how mad are we?
Yeah.
We do that now when we do a ghost hunt. We just think, how stupid are we?
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some good spooky places, haven't we?
We have. We've had some really big places.
There's somewhere we don't want to go back to.
Really?
Oh God, yeah.
Like.
My scariest was the ancient man.
Yeah.
I had somebody at the ancient. I want to go back again.
Yeah.
Have you been the ancient man, haven't you?
Once, yeah.
You've been in the big barn.
Yeah.
And there's loads of stuff piled up on one side.
Yeah.
Must be some history in that. And we were in there, we were doing a ghost hunt in there. And there was a girl sitting next to me called Kerry, and then Hazel. I still remember it, it's clear as anything. And my chair started to rock like that while I was sitting on it. I went, pack it in, stop that. And it stopped. I thought, that's okay. It's listening to you,
Yeah.
you know, like that. But then it started again, but this time it was getting a bit more fiercer. And the girl next to me put her hand on my chair and she went, that's what I said, I know it's rocking. Like that. And I said, there's lights, I can see lights coming towards us. And it came up and it literally looked like a face come into me, face, and then back up like that. And Hazel said, this isn't good, Jamie. And I was right, okay then, I need to get out. I need to get out.
Yeah.
That was the scariest thing that's ever happened
Yeah.
to me. And we went back. It was like the return, you know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to go back into the barn. So let's go back. You know, you've got to do it, haven't you?
Yeah.
So this time I didn't go over that side where it was. I sat on the other side like that. So nothing's happening, you know. This is great. And then Hazel went, Jamie, there's two big lights just gone right next to you now like that. And the next minute on the table there. Okay, I'm going now. And she said to me, whatever it was aiming for you again. So I just got up and went out to and left them all into it. He said as soon as I left that barn, the atmosphere just dropped. It was dead relaxed and everything.
Yeah. Well, I think
whatever
they pick
it
out
was,
people.
I
Something
don't
about
know.
you, or they like or don't like, or.
I think it's when you're sensitive, isn't it? You know, if you're off your guard a bit and things
I
like
think,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when I done it when I
I
wasn't
think if
well?
you're feeling a bit vulnerable or whatever,
Yeah.
I think they tend to go for you more.
Yeah.
But remember when we were in the start of the week, me, you and Marie? And I wasn't feeling too good.
Yeah.
And it was me what wanted to get out. They were seeing things and I felt unsafe and I said to them, I need to get out.
And we wanted to stay because we were getting all kinds going on.
So they made me stay.
Yeah, so we made them stay.
So you need friends like you. So from here, I know you're at Mill Street Barracks.
Yeah.
Do you do your investigations every single day or on a regular basis?
As much as we can, not every single day. Like obviously, life gets in the way, and
Yeah.
so as much as you can, like.
So do you plan, or do you drive? Have you ever driven along sometime and you've gone, that looks like a place there?
Yeah, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
So found some of the best ones just like that, just on
Really?
the side of a road, yeah. And they're usually untouched as well because obviously it's the side of a road, so
People just drive past them, don't they?
Yeah,
They
they
don't
never
realise.
stop.
Right, got it.
So do you keep your equipment with you at all times in the car, just in case?
I keep my. Oh, I shouldn't say someone's gonna rob my car. I keep my
Oh,
paranormal
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I keep my
Sorry
paranormal
about
stuff
that,
in a case in the car, but my camera and that,
Oh,
I know that's always with me. Like,
yeah. So if you go out, you take the equipment.
Yeah.
with you. And we were talking before. We were saying we went and done filming in Anglesey, didn't we? We've done 3 locations in one day. Is that what you do to try and get as many
Yeah,
locations
yeah.
in as you can? Yeah.
Especially if it's a long journey, we make sure that we've got enough places to check, so it's not a complete waste.
Yeah.
ideally, you have one guaranteed one, and then you check around so you don't miss anything in the area, and then head back then.
So I have like 3 or 4 in mind.
Yeah.
One, you know, you definitely get.
Yeah, so it's not a wasted trip.
Yeah.
That usually is the best way of doing it, isn't it? But
So do you go in now as urban explorers or urban explorers paranormal investigators?
I think it's a bit of both now.
Yeah.
I think it's swinging more to the paranormal bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find it more interesting. I know the urban exploring side is interesting,
Yeah.
but it's I think it just adds to it, and we can do a bit more in there of you just having a look around and that. But sometimes if you pick up like there's something bad's happened in here, you just kind of want to know the rest of the story. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or if somebody else is in there.
Yeah.
Like some you can go into and it's just a nice house.
Nice.
But some you go in there and go, something's happened here. You can just
you can feel it.
Oh,
bit of
the
dread
atmosphere.
like, yeah.
Because some people, I mean, some people put like, we nearly died in the murderer's house and they're like that. I
Yeah.
don't watching that.
I don't think we did.
Yeah. Yours are just what you've done, you know. Where you go,
We seen one the
I
other
nearly
week.
died.
Did I make it out? Well, obviously you've uploaded
Oh,
the video.
That's true. Like, I'm never doing this again. Part 1. But Adam and Matt, we've kept you long enough. I know he's itching to get round those
Yeah.
bags here, and I do appreciate you very much for taking the time and doing this little bit of a podcast. It was a bit of fun at the end, but the dog
Yeah.
at the beginning, the dog has now gone quiet, so I think Ian's jumped it. I don't know. But yeah, sorry about the beginning there, but it was a bit of entertainment actually,
Yeah.
wasn't it? And I had to shoot off to try and sort that thing out there. But it's a pup. That's all it is anyway. But we really do hope you're enjoying those feedback. We hope you captured a few things in here, especially footsteps and things like that.
Hopefully.
What I'm going to do though is I'm going to nip off and take Ian home, and then I'm going to come back. Is there any chance we could join you a little bit later on, do a little bit of an investigation?
Yeah.
About
Yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah. So Matt, Adam, let them know how they can contact you on YouTube, how they can find your stuff.
Yeah.
All my socials are Dead City Airbags, included on YouTube as well.
And same Adam Mark Explores, just search that and you should find me.
Everyone knows you already, mate, don't worry about it.
Taken from me, Jonathan, it's a must. The fantastic, the videos are superb. I've got to catch up with Adam's next previous one. I've not seen it yet. I'm looking forward to it because of the footsteps. Jonathan says it's a good one. I take his word all the time.
Watch it.
So go and follow these two lads. It's a must. They're brilliant lads. Okay. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll be back again soon. From Adam and Matt, thank you as well.
No worries.
Okay.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.